But if you ever wanted to know what the reason it is that you have this overwhelming sensation that God is with you, that He's in your heart and He lives, and you talk to Him all the time, but especially in moments of stress, when life is too much. Well, there is a biological and evolutionary explanation for that. I'm afraid so. You know, the human mind is capable of many things. And yes, you can understand mirages, because after all, mirages don't grab your heart, do they? Yeah, they do. When you are in a situation of dire need, how can you resist a mirage? How? If you don't have the map, if you don't have a clue of where you are, how are you going to know it isn't a mirage until you get there and find yourself drinking sand? It's a delusion. Now, of course, the philosopher who wrote this book, John Wately, didn't want to use the word delusion. Someone else already used that. So, instead of delusion, he treated it as a mirage, as one would treat a mirage, as an illusion, a trick. The brain plays on you to make you feel better. It's a natural response to stress. When you are in dire psychological, emotional need, it pumps out the endorphins you need to chill. And you might not like the reason why. And you might not buy into the explanation he gives you. And that's fine. You can think what you would like. But this book is meticulous, as he details step by step how human beings have rationalized themselves into a huge type of slavery, really. How they have just regressed, in a way, in a point, to a certain mindset where they're needy, like little white mice. Really? How can you live with yourself? That's what I'm wondering. You can't is the explanation. That's why you're so heavily invested. Because you can't. You can't deal with it. You need help. All right, fine. You need help. But don't proselytize it. And don't tell me that I'm going to hell, because I don't. And that's the problem, keeping it to yourself. Oh, it's glorious, I must share. Well, I can see that. But must you really? Anyway, the explanation, set out in a very meticulous manner, is that due to the long childhood, under the rule of your parents, certain instincts, shall we say, in early moments learning, from as soon as you're born, you learn to yearn, to seek, to find, to expect, to demand your mother. Not your father. No. Your mother. Why? Your survival depends upon her. This is a holdover from your evolutionary past, when the only food for a baby was the breast, which only women had. Yes, your life depended on your mother. And you exited the womb knowing how to suck, knowing how to hang on, knowing you must do this. You are driven to do this. And she is driven to help you because of her maternal instinct. She's your mother. You squeak in the night. Who comes running? Your mother. When you're a child, then you weep and wail because you fell down and hurt yourself. Who do you go to? Your mother. If you have a mommy, it's the first place you go. That is your first loyalty. And it carries over. Now, so let's translate. You go on, you grow up, you become more independent, and you're a teenager. Are you a teenager? And you go wandering off on your own after 18. Shoo, shoo, boo, out of the nest. And then what happens? Something comes up. And what happens next? In your moment of stress or guilt or danger or trauma of some kind, the infantile circuits that have lied dormant for so long come roaring back to life because you need them. You need to feel that certainty of that loving presence that you had always counted on before comes back to you. But you can't, in all self-respect, cry out, "Mommy!" in the emergency room. That's not socially acceptable for an adult. And there you have it. The reactivation of the instincts of an infant come roaring back to life in your now adult brain. You are powerless to resist it. You have not developed an immunity to that. That was the only thing that kept you alive at one point. So yes, you feel that presence and that overwhelming emotion of solace and love, guidance, wisdom, strength. Here is someone who can and will fix all for you. Powerful stuff. Goes right to that pleasure center in the brain, the little baby that never quite grew up. We all have it. When mama speaks, there you are. Who's going to tell you nay? No one. So, no, you don't like it. But there's your explanation. And your mother is very real. This concept of mother is very real. And then the men get in the act. So I won't go on to tell you about the rest of the book. It doesn't speak to your credit, people. But the most ancient of gods is actually a goddess, the nurturing mother. And I know of one religion and one group, 60,000 strong, who still follow her. And the religion is so old, it doesn't have a name. Southwest China, the Mosul. Yeah. Wonderful people. You should travel there and get to know them. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. And please come again.